Thank you for the Prime sub. Had two ads for the same film. Which film was it? Was it Minecraft movie or something else? Because I've been getting like those Doritos Minecraft movie ads. Actually, earlier on YouTube, I got an Oreo Minecraft movie ad as well. Actually, thinking about it. Anyways, hope people are doing well. We are back with Shadow Generations. This is kind of the like addendum kind of stream where I just kind of do stuff that didn't fit into the main story or something else. I had leave from the Monster Hunter film in it. I just remember like seeing the Monster Hunter film that happened to be on TV one day, and I just sort of looked over at it and I was like, this looks nothing like the games at all. Anyways, first things first, I guess, to show. So for beating the game, the hub world, white space, goes back to how it was before, but you can change it back to being like it was in the end game, where it's all red and stuff, which not only serves an aesthetic purpose, but also these little challenge things I did maybe one or two of before, they get harder. And you also get extra challenge acts and hard mode bosses. If I walk over to... I say walk, if I run over to Space Colony Arc. Yeah, we now get extra challenge acts as well that are like hard mode challenges. I might show some of them off if I've got time later, but that depends on if I have time. Let's switch back to normal for now, just because why not? So it's meant, yeah. I remember seeing the spiders and thinking, is that meant to be something in Monster Hunter? But it looks nothing like it. Yeah. Doesn't surprise me. I can't think of many video game adaptations of movies where they are, where they have designs or concepts faithful to the games. Which leads me into the movie DLC. This is part of the Digital Deluxe, which I believe you can also buy it on its own. This released a few weeks before the movie came out. I think early December this came out, if I remember correctly. We get a single level and a couple of challenge acts, so we're going to be playing those today. We're going to do those first because that's the main thing I want to show, that I want to show off. So, yeah.
Huh?
It's the thing I was ignoring before. So it's teleporter ring from the movies, basically. I do like that the movies use like giant rings as like teleport things. That calls back to like Sonic 1, really, and other classic Sonic games that use giant rings as special stage entrances. Let's head in.
Where am I now? Huh? Is that me? Huh? I've taken on another form? I feel as if I've left my own dimension.
So for the first time in the games, we have something that's actually properly movie related. Much like the main levels, I'm gonna play through this pretty normally, casually first off, and then I'm gonna do a better playthrough afterwards. And we have Keanu Reeves voicing Shadow here. I'd say reprising his role from the movie, but this came out first. We probably I don't know whether we recorded this or the movie first, though. Although I will say, I think he sounds better in the movie than he does here. Oh, whoops. It's been a while since I've done a casual playthrough of this level. Yeah, this is Tokyo, you know, as in the city in Japan. Yeah, I think it's a pretty fun level though. And yeah, it's like... So this isn't technically movie Shadow. This is game Shadow who's been transported to movie universe. Despite, you know, he just now looks and sounds like movie Shadow.
What are they doing?
I'd say there's also a bigger emphasis on like the cinematic parts of the level, but that kind of makes sense.
What a waste of time.
Probably most likely sounds worse is phoning the game in for a paycheck, because it's anything a different Shadow could technically explain it. Yeah, his line deliveries just don't sound as good. Like earlier in the level, it's like how Maria described the Earth. It's like it's not how you pronounce, it's not how you say it like that. Say that. But I will say the cinematic flares and the animation, especially on Shadow here, is really good.
You can't stop.
And like the level looks great as well. It's a good mix of like looking like, you know, a real life city, but also being stylized. Oh, I don't think I've ever gone this route. And the music that's playing here as well, this is a remix of Westopolis from Shadow the Hedgehog. You might have noticed there's no levels from Shadow in this game. But this one, yeah, but this level at least, we get a remix. And it's a pretty good one. I really like it in the beginning of the level, like in the cutscene. The way it builds, it like suddenly starts playing the like guitar riff. When I first played it, I was like, you know, watching the cutscene, and I just heard the riff coming, and I was like, I recognise that. But we're at the quick time event, which I believe still goes through if you fail. That is the level beat. And despite playing through pretty casually,
Perfect.
still got an S rank. Yeah, like this, it's story-wise, it is basically a sequel to Shadow the Hedgehog, so it does kind of fill the quota, but yeah. Anyways, we've got a cutscene after the level as well. Again, it's movie related, so.
Oh. Kato, control! I have no time for this. I have to complete my mission, but I'll be back.
So yeah, that's the movie level. It's not the longest one, but it's a pretty well made one. I think it rounds out the package quite nicely, although you'd have to pay for the level. I think it's like £5 if you don't have the digital deluxe. And it's like, is £5 worth it for one level? I don't know. Although, like I said, there are challenge acts as well as the level itself. And yeah, Keanu actually says Chaos Control. Although, the way he delivers it, it almost reminds me of, you know, like the meme video, it's like, it's like Obama and it's like, you mean, like, it's like, you mean the Chaos Emeralds? I've got one right here. Chaos Control. It just reminds me of that, his delivery. I don't know why. But yeah, we've got a couple of challenge levels here. Balloon Rush and Ring Collector. Pretty basic stuff, but it does give you a little more for your money. Nope, no, it's still doing the lag. Not as badly, but whatever. I do like this section here where it's like rail grinding on actual like train tracks.
Chaos control.
Oh, that's the first mission. I don't believe there are any like pop balloon missions in the base game, so. But ring collecting is a pretty standard mission concept in Sonic games. Now I want to, I want to try that again. Gotta use Chaos Control. One thing to note, Movie Shadow here doesn't have any Doom powers, just the basic Chaos Control stuff. Like Chaos Control and Chaos Spear. Because also, Movie Shadow in this is technically considered a separate character, and you can only play as him in this movie DLC level. You can't play as him outside of this, outside of these. He's not a skin over Shadow. He is legally a separate character in this game. Oh, I chose a bad time to try using Chaos Control. Whoops. Excuse me. I'm hoping to get in this rank here. Probably not gonna happen. No. I chose a bad time to Chaos Control. and spent too much time just faffing around getting rings. Oh yeah, there are mods. I mean, so the mod loader lets you load Movie Shadow in, like, override normal Shadow and Movie Shadow, but levels of cinematics, his model breaks. I've got a picture on my computer actually. Hold on, in my Steam screenshots folder. Hold on, I've got a picture of. I can never remember where the screenshots folder is. Where is it? Yeah, it's of Movie Shadow's face melting in a cinematic scene. Why can't I drag this in? Gotta. That's why I used to be able to like drag images onto, like, from my like File Explorer into OBS. There we go. Yeah, movie Shadow's model breaks in cuts in cinematic bits because he's rigged differently. It does mostly work, and I'm sure there were like mods probably even before Movie Shadow came out of like custom made Movie Shadow skins for regular Shadow. This isn't a screenshot I found online. This is my own screenshot. uh. Anyway, so that's the movie stuff done. At least the doing all the levels once over and whatnot. I don't think there's any random bits of the hub world I haven't shown yet. You might not like it, but it's what the ultimate life form looks like. That thing of moving properly with the Doom Morph comes in handy here. Oh, come on. There we go.
All too easy.
Great. Also, another thing to note, you can enable Doom Wing at will in the hub world once you've got 50 rings. It's very useful for completing some of the, especially the harder mode challenges, or just reaching certain collectibles. And this spot in particular, as I did last time, good spot to build up rings for it. No. It's too fast. Because there are some collectibles that are like really high up. If I got up to the top, like there's some collectibles and stuff that are just like hidden really high up on like these buildings and stuff. As like you need Doomwing to get up to these. Oh, this one looks like you probably could get here without Doomwing by the looks of things for this one, but it's easier to use Doomwing. There is a lot of music from Shadow the Hedgehog that you can use in the jukebox. Actually. These challenges are quite useful for collecting rings for Doomwing. I mean, I think Doom just has them. So I think it's a combination of Doom just having powers like that due to being like a alien overlord. Like, but it was probably also so this game's set at the same time as Sonic Generations. This is where the Time Eater sent Shadow, essentially. Like Black Doom kind of like intervened while Time Eater was messing around with time, and Black Doom kind of like made his own stuff for Shadow to have to deal with, essentially. Like he made it, like Black Doom made his own plans for sort of trying to come back and whatnot. So he's like sort of took advantage of the Time Eater messing around with time. We probably meant to use Chaos Control and homing attack up there or something. Or we can just fly up from on high with Doomwing. Still all the random collectibles. Oh, Omega didn't have anything to say. I don't think any of these have anything new to say. Omega certainly didn't. It's one of those ones where you gotta use. Break open those things so that you get more rings.
Out of my way. All too easy.
Right, I think that's probably enough stalling for time. Right. So another thing as well, once you unlock Doomwing, you can choose to play levels with and without Doomwing being available, and they have different like leaderboards for your personal bests, so the fact that you can fly won't affect with your best times if you can't, which is quite nice. Also Act 2, because Act 2 gave us the preview of Doomwing. If I had gone back here, I meant to show it off, but I forgot. But you can't replay Space Colony Arc Act 2 until you get the Doomwing again. So I don't know if the extent of what Time Eater did, how much of that was under Eggman's control, because I always interpreted it as Eggman unleashed the Time Eater, but it wasn't fully under his control until like the end of the game, when like him and classic Eggman had like finished doing their work on it. Because like when you fight it, and in that cutscene before you fight it, it's got all like the mechanical gear stuff on it. But when Eggman first discovers it, and when it sort of first starts showing up in the story, it doesn't. So the way I always interpreted it was just like Eggman kind of unleashed it, kind of pointed it at Sonic, and then it kind of just got on with its own sort of thing for a little bit until Eggman started to sort of bring it under control. Yeah, I mean, considering Eggman at the time, the Generations, I don't know how much intentional it would have been. Although I kind of interpret this, like what's here, what's in Shadow's white space, as again Black Doom, sort of taking advantage of the situation, pulling Shadow out to his own place, and then bringing like things through with Shadow here in an attempt to, you know, get Shadow, you know, essentially, you know, in an attempt to, you know, screw with him and like try to get him to, you know, back under his control kind of thing. It's like the interpretation I was saying about the other day, the last stream, or the one before, about all the appearances of Radical Highway. You could, you know, it could be interpreted as Black Doom's trying to bring Shadow back to that mind space of being, you know, just being angry and wanting vengeance. Anyways, when I played through the game, I did the main like 3D acts, a pretty casual playthrough. I didn't get S ranks all the time, you know. I intentionally didn't try for the best routes, or at least my usual fast routes. I've saved that for today. Expect me to hit restart several times. Yeah, still doing the lagging. I wonder if I lower the rendering scale. That might help.
You now. I won't let you get away.
Yeah, just to show off the quality of the level design. There's all sorts of little shortcuts and techniques you can do to save time. If you go over here, shortcut here. Also easy to a thing. Boost onto here. I think those like green anti-grav panels are actually from Shadow. Like they're from Shadow the Hedgehog's arc levels. So while the level's mostly a Sonic Adventure 2 reference, it does have a little bit of Shadow the Hedgehog in there. Chaos Control there, you can stand on those missiles to get up here. We got a heavy attack chain here. So something you're going to see me doing a bit while doing these runs is spamming Chaos Spear in the air. So when you're boost jumping or just in the air in general, Shadow loses less speed, like less horizontal momentum, when he's using Chaos Spear. So a little time save that gets you a little bit of extra distance, makes you go a little bit faster in the air, is shooting Chaos Spears in the air while you're like jumping and whatnot. I don't know if it was an intentional mechanic for the game, but it is a neat mechanic though. Like, it's probably just a physics quirk, but it's a pretty fun one to use. Like, probably unintentional, but... Alright, we're going to take a completely different route in this part of the level. We went along the floor last time. Does Chaos Spear count as Shadow turning his hand into a gun? Maybe. Taking these other routes, obviously, might come across a few more collectibles as well. There is a mod that gets rid of these cutscenes and has it transition straight to the Radical Highway sections. Like without the cutscenes and stuff, which look pretty cool, but because of the time difference, I haven't used it myself, because I don't want to just like invalidate my best times. Although now that I've got a second save file, maybe I'll try it out with this save file. Now last time I played, when I did play this before, I did play this part optimally, so... This probably won't look much different. I still think the transitions into these Radical Highway sections is pretty impressively done. Like, with how smooth it is and how little it stutters, if at all. I mean, the frame rate does seem to... It stutters a little bit from running at, like, 120 FPS, but that might just be cutscene timing being timed to 60 Hz. And yeah, it looks... Oh. Yeah, it looks great. This whole game, I think, looks great. Visually, it's really... It's technically solid, and just looks great. Like, you know, aesthetically, a lot of it is quite good too. You know, what I love playing this section optimally is just how it ends up being timed to the music. Like this section, you know, where the music goes like this, while the level breaks apart and turns back into Space Colony Arc.
I won't let him escape.
Like, I don't know if they intentionally designed the music to sync up like that if you play well, but it's pretty great that it does. Alright, so Space Colony Arc. I'm just going to do the 3D levels. They're the ones I tend to replay the most anyway. Ignoring them. Right, on to Rail Canyon. Relatively impressed that I managed to get that in one go without having to like do any restarts. Spam that homing attack button as quick as I can. You want to get onto these outside rails quickly for an alternate route here. Use your Chaos Control. So when I played through this level on the first stream, I showcased that you can go on the outside rail as an alternate path, which is cool, but unfortunately it's quicker to do the more basic, boring way of doing that, which is using Chaos Control there.
This is the ultimate power.
Just using a spare Chaos Control just to save time. I think I came up here last time. There's a hidden spring there. Just takes you to this shortcut. The Chaos Control here is one of those trail things. I don't know how you actually meant to get to the start of this one. I just know how to do that like that. Yeah, doing all that brings us to the Radical Highway section much quicker. Oh, good. I didn't miss that this time. I don't know why. Sometimes I miss that, and I'm not sure what I'm doing differently on the times where I do miss it. Right. Get on the rail. Don't know if that. Ah! No! 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 Oh well. I don't think it needs to be perfect runs, just good runs. I think not going into the dash rings is quicker. Nope, I'm out of boost. No! Luckily, rings refill your boost pretty quickly in this one, so. And Chaos Control does as well. I don't know what happens if you don't Chaos Control there. I'm guessing you don't get to this bit before they break the rail. A section like this would be absolutely terrifying in Heroes, where the rail switching hardly works and just flings you off the stage half the time. Like, that would be a genuinely harrowing section in Heroes. There we go. Don't know how many of these are comparing to my best times on my main file. Right, up next is Kingdom Valley. I think it's over this way. Maybe I'll open whatever I come across. Does big anything for me to say? No, I don't think he's already said that. Right, Kingdom Valley. This level has some fun skips. Oh, no, it's still doing the lagging. Okay. Maybe it's just the Denuvo, who knows. Well, if it's gonna lag all the same, I may as well just set this back up to 100% render resolution. Right. So bounce on here, get up here to this hot route, use Chaos Spear to get to the spring without having to land on the floor, boost over to this. If I defeat enough robots there, which I haven't, I could have built up a Chaos Spear. Oh. Ah, missed. That ramp there is really awkward to get onto without slowing down. Obviously, I don't want to slow down. One change from Sonic, well, from earlier games of this collection Frontiers, is that when you restart the stage, the music keeps playing and the music doesn't restart. Some people probably really like the change, some people probably don't like it. I don't really care. It's a change. Fine, I won't boost. Jump up there, come across here. Ah! Got to jump. And this is why I like the removal of lives in the modern Sonic games. Not because of disliking lives as a mechanic, but because it benefits me when I'm constantly restarting levels. Putting Sonic and Shadow Generations together, what are my top 3 levels? Ooh, I mean, Rooftop Run Act 2 is definitely in there. Rooftop Run Act 2 from Sonic Generations is my favourite level in the game, one of my favourite Sonic levels of all time. Ooh, I do quite like this one. I don't know. I really like. I like Chemical Plant Act 2 as well from Sonic Generations. Yeah, okay. I guess I'm gonna, rather than, I don't know if I can think of exact top. Stop going too far to the left. I don't know if I can think of exact top 3, but if I thought it was at least a top 1 from each character, so Modern Sonic, Classic Sonic, and Shadow. I mean, I've said Rooftop Run Act 2. The Classic Sonic is probably Rooftop Run Act 1 as well, actually. I love Rooftop Run. As for Shadow, though, it's probably either this or Sunset Heights. Act 1. There we go. Hit that properly. Yeah, it's either this or Sunset Heights is probably my favourite levels from this, but honestly, I don't dislike any of the levels here. I like all the levels in this game, to be completely honest. There's no level where I go, not that one. I think they're all really good. Oh no, I missed the... That's the first time I've ever missed that ramp. Although this and Sunset Heights, both, I can get a bit frustrated in that I like them a lot, but in that I, put in some work to get the muscle memory down to do some of this stuff. But when I make the tiniest little mistake, I'm back to the start. Out of desire to, do better. But I think if I had to do an absolute top 3 though from Sonic and Shadow, from both Sonic Generations and Shadow, I don't know if any of the classic Sonic levels would be in there, to be honest. I like them, but not as much as the modern Sonic levels, and they're not as good as proper classic Sonic, like, the original games and Mania. Although the league's better than what was in Forces, the classic. Right, here we go. Yeah, no, overall it would probably be either Rooftop Run Act 2, Chemical Plant Act 2, and then something from here, or the aforementioned and like another level from Sonic Generations. Like either right, you may need to go through the window here, but you can go around here. You can skip the bit where you fight the enemies. Pro tip. But yeah, if I had to like pick a third, if it was a third level from Sonic Generations, then it would probably be like City Escape or Sky Sanctuary. Right, if you Chaos Control this guy, it's just a little shortcut here, which I meant to do last time, but I failed. So. So yeah, that's my long-winded answer to that question. I mean, I also like Green Hill Act 2, just out of sheer familiarity as well. That's just a comfort level. I've played that level so many times, it's always like the first one I go. It's always the first one I load up when I'm playing Sonic Generations. It's always my like warm-up. Just a little run through Green Hill Act 2. It's normally like Green Hill Act 2 and then like another level I know I like. Right. Right, we've got another enemy we can Doom Blast. This one I mess up more often though. There we go. We like long-winded. True, I suppose. Right. If you do this, getting to that dash ring, I found the most easiest way of doing that one is stomp to get your big height. Don't hold any direction. Get to the apex of your bounce, then just press boost with no directional input. Anyways, after many retries, that's a good run on Kingdom Valley. There's a lot of little tiny mess ups that I'm like, whenever I do it, I'm just like, retry. That's just how I play these games. Speaking of annoyances, this loop. You can't. So you can run around the loop if you hit the dash panel, just like any loop in a Sonic game. You, however, can't run around the loop if you don't use the dash panel. Shadow just like stops. You're the king of long-winded, I suppose. Someone did make a mod actually. Where, like, the only thing the mod changed was it lets Shadow run through this loop without having to hit the dash pad. Anyway, Sunset Heights. Oh, expect a lot of retries on this one. I get very particular if I make a tiny little mistake in this level. Wait for the lag to go away. It's just the depth. the depth you can get out of this level is just great. Especially compared to its source material. Or did I do that Chaos Control too early? Oh, I might have. Oh no, barely made it in time. If you Chaos Control that and hit that enemy that I boosted, you can avoid the spikes on the floor don't pop up. And Chaos Control that section just right to avoid the thing. Now here, Chaos Control with debris, you go to this upper path, which gets you a collectible and a shortcut. Now, this is the one part of the level I don't like. If it happens, I'll explain why. Well, I'll explain why anyway, but how angry I get while explaining. Okay, so those Death Egg robots chuck rocks at you. If you time the ramp wrong, you'll get hit by the rocks they chuck at you and there's nothing you can do about it. And you don't even see the rocks as well. It's really annoying. Right, time for a awkward to reach upper path. You have to chaos control this guy. But playing the way I do is like, I can't get a chaos control until unless I chaos spear the guy on the right. So it's like awkward.
Chaos control.
Ah! I should have just Tony attacked. That was a really good run. I messed it up right near the end. Well, before the Radical Highway part anyway. Right. I definitely give myself a bit more time on this bit here. Yeah, there's spikes that pop up on from the floor.
This is the ultimate power.
Right. I don't know if my mic is picking up like button press noises from a controller, but I kind of hope it is. Just to hear like the work that goes into like the finger work that goes into a good run on a Sonic level like this. Oh cool, I missed the rocks again. Good. Yeah. Sometimes I'll accidentally Chaos Spear the one that you want to Doom Blast. It's like, oh, I've got to restart because I can't get up here now. I don't know if there is like, because there's several of these Black Arms guys in this level. I don't know if it's possible to do any more Doom Blast shenanigans with them beyond that point, but I just use Chaos Control to slow down time. In the original Sonic Forces, we'd have already beaten the Sunset Heights by now, and we wouldn't have been putting in this amount of like perfectly timed stuff either. No, that's just on a casual playthrough of the level.
So you think this will stop me?
Right. Alternate route. Alternate route upon alternate route. That's why I love that good Sonic level design. Avoid those, get the rings. Right. There is a oh well. There is a grind rail that comes up from the top of the pipe that's like quicker, but like I'm not going to risk falling off just to get it. I mean, I got hit once, so my ring total's not going to be amazing, but whatever. your rank is mostly from time in this game. It's either mostly or entirely based on time anyway in this game, so whatever. Like if rings contribute, they only contribute a teeny tiny amount. Yeah. Well, it's based on, I think it's based on score, but like the score is like 95% derived from your time and not from your rings. Like rings give you a little tiny bonus, but that's about it. Well, we're going nearly an hour already. Wow. Yeah, I had to use Doom Morph to get into here. We also had to use Doom Morph to get out of here. Alright, Chaos Island, Act 2, Act 1 even. Now this level, when you play well, can be over pretty quickly. But again, there's a lot of opportunities for failure, so... And one of the ones I get wrong the most is right near the start. So instead of following the path, let's do a boost, come up to this. I wonder if it's possible to actually land on that top platform with enough finesse. Possibly. Come under here for a shortcut. Oh. Okay. Don't accidentally grab onto that Doom Morph orb. That's happened to me so many times. Shadow Generations, thankfully, if you die before the first checkpoint, the level timer like restarts and stuff, it basically acts as if you've restarted, which is nice. I mean, there's no concept of the perfect bonus like in Sonic Generations. Oh, you know what, you probably could reach that without having to homing attack the pulley. Yeah, there's no concept of perfect bonus, you don't have to not die to get an S rank in this game. So dying before the first checkpoint no longer means pausing hitting restart. Yeah, you totally reach that. It's not really much quicker. I mean, maybe it's quicker if you aim yourself better first, but time-wise it's about the same as hitting the pulley. But yeah, once I started getting better with Doom Morph, this level became a lot more fun to me. I mean, I remember when the game first came out, I remember saying that this is probably the weakest level, just based on it being based on Doom Morph, but now that I've gotten better at Doom Morph and I understand how it works better, I quite like it. Especially doing stuff like that, like skipping over those balloons just by building up momentum with the boost, like the Doom Morph boost. Alright, this part's not any different. Not much different, and it's still pretty. Oh. Oh, we've got to save those, like, microseconds, you know? Nope. We're near enough. Don't know why I didn't just let Shadow die there. Why I had to hit restart. I mean, it's a reflex that I've gained over years of playing Sonic Generations. Because even if you die before the first checkpoint in Sonic Generations, it counts as a death. Yeah, even if it's before the first checkpoint, it counts as a death, so you can't get your perfect bonus. Which means you can't get your S rank. Ah! That bit of floor there, where the checkpoint is kind of awkward. It sometimes just gimps your jump because of the terrain. Which means it's very accurate to the source material, because the terrain in Frontier sometimes would do that, especially on Chaos Island. It's interesting that they, of the 3 islands, that they chose Chaos Island. Maybe they figured it was the most unique aesthetically, or like maybe their sort of more muted colour palette fits Shadow better. I don't know. Or maybe they thought of interesting gameplay ideas. The amount of times I've like fallen off before getting to that wall, and again having to hit restart, too many.
Out of my way.
Even though Homie attack those balloons, which is like a well done boosting jump will avoid that. Now I remember when this level theme first got revealed, like on YouTube, a lot of people didn't like it just for how different it is from the original. It's a completely different feeling and vibe to the original Chaos Island, just based on it, you know, just based on how the island themes and Frontiers were all very like quiet. Well, not always quiet, but you know, like more sort of, you know, they were quieter and stuff. Got those, come up here. I'm gonna Chaos Control, but no use to platforming when you can boost jump. Yeah, like the music here has feelings of cyberspace music in Frontiers. Yeah, like, yeah, the fast pace sort of thing, it does need a different vibe. And it's able to like reference cyberspace as well. Right. Make some tricky looking jumps here. Oh no, oh. I pressed the wrong button. We're right at the end as well. I've got to show off the exact route I want to take. This is what it's like. Enjoying playing Sonic levels like this. This is what it's like. I've got to show the experience.
Out of my way.
Any tiny little mistake, it's like, nah.
Chaos control.
I probably could boost on that sort of platform before the wall, maybe, but I feel like that would carry a big risk. With Shadow been on Chaos Island while Sonic was, the timing to shenanigans not affect the actual timeline once it's beat. I don't know. I mean, it's something the game doesn't really address, just, you know, the fact that Shadow's never, yeah, that Shadow wasn't in Frontiers. You know, it's not addressed at all. Like, maybe they'll do something with it in the future, even if it's just like a passing mention or something, but I think when it comes to, in terms of, at the moment, like Shadow running through this, I think this is just Time Eater pulling it, this is Time Eater like pulling it out of time, I think. I think that's how the Time Eater shenanigans work, it like pulls it out of time. Didn't hit the ramp. Also, I'm pretty happy to say that like most of these like time saves and like little things of doing, I've come up with all these myself. I've not like looked up speedrun guides or anything. This is all just me figuring stuff out as I'm playing the game myself. Because a good amount of my knowledge of like classic Sonic stuff. I mean, part of it is obviously that I play them a lot, but part of it is also that I spent a lot of time absorbing like other people's like playthroughs and like level maps and stuff. Not, I mean, when I was younger as a thing of like helping me play, but as I got older and more familiar with the games, just as a matter of interest, really. It's been like, oh, I like, you know, I like this stuff, I want to look further into it, kind of thing. It's become more knowledgeable. These sections you can't really speed up beyond making sure you do those homing attacks as quickly as you can.
Chaos control.
I mean, the first time I did, like, the first few times I took that route, I was doing the platforming, at least to some extent. Then I think I just got, like, I just sort of thought one time, what if I tried just jumping over it? Oh, that was close. No, he fell on the lava there.
This is the ultimate power.
Right, let's not mess up right at the end this time.
Chaos control.
Yeah, instead of homing attack, boost over to that. It looks kind of scary, but Shadow's pretty much pointed in the right direction for it already. And that is a good run on Chaos Island. You can really shave time off that one. Yeah, you can really, really shave time off that one when you know what you're doing. And it's pretty satisfying. No, don't range. Yeah, it's the same. I'm thinking that's it. Well, that's the 5 main levels. Let's head back over to the movie level. I can't bother to. It's just fast travel. Let's do a good run on this one as well. The routes are a bit less varied in this level, but nope. Well, I'm glad I didn't do the lag when I first started. Perhaps it's a memory thing where it's been open longer. I don't know.
Where am I now?
Oh, it's completely desynced the cutscene. Okay, let's just... it's desynced the cutscene.
Suspicious. I should follow.
I do love how it's
Looks like I
timed to the music as well.
Let's do the beautiful city.
Right.
It looks
Chaos
like
control
how
before
Maria
that.
described the Earth.
And you get that Chaos Control path. You also get to hear Keanu go, the Earth. Ah!
Suspicious. I should follow.
Sidestep there, go between those. Yeah, this level also has collectibles.
Alright, a beautiful city. That's it. It looks like how Maria described.
Yeah, it's separate to the type of collectibles that the rest of the game has. I'll show them off. Yeah. He does sound a bit more phone. I don't know whether this was recorded before or after the movie. So whether it's like unfamiliarity or whether it is an amount of phoning it in. I don't know.
Let's do this. I need to find my way back. Or fight my
Ah. Didn't hit the dash panel.
I should follow. All right, a beautiful city. It looks like how Maria described the Earth.
Having to hear that line every time you go through the level again. That one in particular is just like, the Earth.
Yep.
One thing I do like about this level is it has several moments where you'll go up, you'll like use a ramp to go up onto the wall, and it's like not scripted. The fact that Shadow can run on walls by going up on ramps like that,
Do this.
I really like that.
I need to find my way back. Or fight my
I
way.
don't see if you hit, once you hit a dash panel, that does become more scripted, but the fact that Shadow can just run up onto walls
What are they?
without it being fully scripted is quite nice.
What a waste of time.
Now you go back to like Forces and like mid-level cutscenes, the ones that happen, just they're not animated nearly as well as this is. Like, Pokemon Sword and Shield is the Pokemon game where we make fun of the animation quality. Forces is definitely one of the Sonic games that has really bad animation quality. Just for things being stale and for animations being sort of stiff and sort of stale and whatnot. Right, look at that. That's not a collectible.
All right, this is the ultimate power.
Oh. I might have used that too early. Oh, no, not okay. Just about. Had time for that one. If you don't use Chaos Control there, Helicopter bombs that ramp and you can't go up it.
Miss.
Can't get that one without using Chaos Control, I don't think. Either. That, like, postcard thing. Can't remember what the collectors are called here. I'd also quite like this set piece going up Tokyo Tower, or whatever it's called. Reminds me of, like, bits you get in a level in Unleashed. So yeah, not quite as radical differences in routes for this one. But I'm guessing with this level they wanted this sort of pizza level to like pretty much always be shown. Just due to being the movie promo DLC. The one thing I do like about it is it doesn't have like movie branding plastered all over it. You can skip the cutscenes. It doesn't have like movie like advertisements all over it. It's, you know, so, you know, in years down the line, sort of when we're sort of further away from the movie, it's just going to be like extra Tokyo rather than being like Sonic Movie 3 Tokyo, catch Sonic 3 in cinemas this December, you know. But speaking of, let's head into the collection room. So it's a similar vibe, a similar concept to Sonic Generations sort of collection room. You rewatch the cutscenes. I mean, where is it? The Shadow vs Sonic is about the only one I tend to rewatch, just because it's so good. Yeah, you got some character bios, not tons. Just, you know, Shadow, Omega, Big, Maria, Professor Gerald, Bulbot and Cubot. You don't even get Black Doom. Then the actual collectibles come into play here. So with the history of Shadow, or Shadow's history, or whatever it is. Basically, game synopses. You get 2 per game. It's pretty basic stuff. This basically just serves to be A, a little companion thing, and B, Again, if you're unfamiliar with Shadow's like story up until this point, it gives you more of an insight. For whatever reason though, it puts Shadow the Hedgehog before Heroes in this list. I don't know why. I haven't unlocked the ones for Heroes on this file though. And it only tells you, it only shows Shadow's story, it only tells you Shadow's story of 06. So, and then after that, there's synopses of Forces as well, which again mostly just detailed Shadow's involvement in Forces. Also, yes, that is the bike from Shadow the Hedgehog. I like that he just like sits on it. Music player. Like in Sonic Generations, you can play these tracks in levels as well. Oh yeah, just in case we didn't have enough Radical Highway. You know. But you know what, if we're going to go in the collection room, I may as well load up my completed save file. So on this save file, I've done everything, I've got everything. So I can show off more, more stuff. So like I said, getting all the robot parts for Orbot and Cubot, not really worth doing unless you just unless you're trying to 100% the game. It gets you nothing but gallery stuff and the joke of all that work to build a rocket, only to get a clock in a timeless void. I do like that it's like a cuckoo clock, but with a flicky. Yeah. Yeah, collection room. This will show that I'll be able to show whatever in here now. Yeah, Heroes is put after Shadow. I don't know why. And again, it only really tells you Shadow's relevance. It doesn't give you the entire plot synopsis of Heroes. And now it tells. Here it tells you the. Well, this part one here is basically episode Shadow, and then just Shadow eventually intervened. Halfway through the game. Also, I do find it funny that Force's plot synopses, like parts, are shorter than any of the other games. Like Adventure 2's got some pretty long paragraphs here. I mean, Shadows aren't quite as long as SA2's, but Heroes somehow is about as long. It's somehow slightly longer than the Shadow the Hedgehog ones, despite Heroes having almost no story. 06 is pretty long because 06 had a big story focus. Forces is just like shorter. This is way shorter. Partly because Shadow didn't have much to do in that story, and also just partly because Force's story is rubbish. It's a load of rubbish. Everyone has Uno, Blue Hedgehog. It came free on your Chaos Xbox. I don't have it. I have the oldest Xbox known to man. And you get 2 random level themes from Heroes. And then a bunch from Shadow the Hedgehog. Oh look, Prison Island. Has anyone ever modded Xenoblade to put this track in like the Prison Island area in Xenoblade 1? If not, someone should. Just like nothing else changes about the game, it just plays this music in that area. Blue Falcon. Not to be confused with the Captain Falcon's ship car thing. You change one to steam them on. I don't know how to mod Wii games, let alone a Wii game that people probably don't mod very often. Oh, Lost Impact. Everyone's favourite level. Oh, Cosmic Pool, another great one. I like how Sonic Generations is like treated as a past game in this game, despite it taking place at the same time. Then you get the Forces tracks as well from Episode Shadow. Then with the Digital Deluxe, you get like a bunch of other tracks, and well, I think no, these I think are just these from I can't. I mean, these are Shadow related. You know, you've got his theme song from Adventure 2. Team Dark's theme song from Heroes, vocal songs from Shadow. Which is this one where he's all angsty. There's no version of All Hail Shadow. But then you just get random other songs in the Digital Deluxe that have like nothing to do with Shadow. Like, Supersonic Racing. Which I'm pretty sure the original version is already in Sonic Generations. Some of these I think are duplicated. It's like, Shadow wasn't in this game. Technically, Shadow wasn't in this game. Sir Lancelot's in this game, who looks a lot like Shadow, but Shadow's not in Black Knight. Is Shadow in Riders? Probably. It's not in the story. It's definitely not in Unleashed. Absolutely not in Colours. Nothing to do with Lost World. Oh, he's in Forces. No, he's not in this level, though. And they misspelled Luminous Forest. I'm pretty sure there's an O in that word. Like, I'm pretty sure in the actual level itself, in Forces, it's spelled with an O, as the word Luminous would be. But not that I don't mind too much the Forces music here. I quite like Forces soundtrack has really grown on me since it came out, especially the Avatar tracks. Especially Aqua Road, not especially, I'd always liked this one, but Aqua Road really is probably my favorite, one of my favorite tracks in Forces, if not my favorite. And for some reason, a slightly shortened version of Green Knight Ride continues on spacing. And then some Frontiers tracks, all the vocal songs basically. I mean, I'm not going to complain about these songs being here because they're all amazing songs. 1-2. That level. Also, Second Wind is this is one of my favourite tracks in Frontiers actually, from DLC. So these are random tracks that have nothing to do with Shadow. Although, what's worse is the, like, digital art book and mini soundtrack you get. None of the tracks in the mini soundtrack are from Shadow Generations, they're all just random tracks from the series history that I'm pretty sure are, like, from this list. And it's like, what's the point of that mini soundtrack if there's nothing to do with Shadow? The art book does. Oh. But yeah, we've got various bits of art from throughout Sonic history related to Shadow. I mean, it's that iconic piece. I can't even remember if that gun's even in the game. It's either like the one on the cover or the one in the intro FMV. It's like not in the game. If I remember correctly. Sonic Heroes box art. Yeah, Sonic Heroes has very slightly different box art in all three regions. I prefer the European one that we got, the one on the right. I prefer that one myself. And yeah, Sonic 06 has very slightly different box art in Japan as well. His hand isn't closed. Why they made that difference, I have no idea. And Sonic Forces box art is not, it's not good. It's like, you know, like how later Marvel films ended up, like, they all had, like, their posters are all like, kind of like, they just look like graphic design is my passion in Photoshop, with like all the characters like copy paste on top of each other with like a fade, with like fade outs. That's what this box art makes me think of. Also, the expression on Sonic's face is just not, I don't like it. In my Steam library, I've replaced Force's like default art, which is this, with like it's like art from like Famitsu, like from a Famitsu issue or something, which looks better. My Sonic Mania poster has this art on the reverse side, and it's like, I'm never going to use that reverse side. It's always going to be Sonic Mania. And just artwork from Adventure 2. Generic modern era 3D poses. And also artwork from Sonic X, or you know, sort of stuff from Sonic X, but they don't call it Sonic X, they just say shadow animation poses. I guess licensing reasons is why they can't call it by name. I don't know. Sonic Rivals 2. One of the few Sonic games I don't own. I have played it a couple of times. One of my friends had it when we were at school, so occasionally I played it on his PSP. Sonic. I've never liked the design, like Sonic's design in 06. It just looks off to me in so many ways. Shadow 3D CG across multiple titles. Again, that character in the middle, that's not Shadow. That's Sir Lancelot. It's like, canonically, it's not Shadow. Like, in the storybook games, Sonic is the only one that's actually a Sonic character. Like, he's the only one that's brought into the book and not just a character from the book. Yeah, there's lots of concept art from Shadow the Hedgehog. Oh, the really generic enemies from 06. The Cerberus there. I'm kind of getting lame Blade Wolf vibes looking at that artwork. Like, Blade Wolf from Ogre Rising is much cooler than the Cerberus for many reasons. Oh, his artwork of that stupid Iblis worm. Oh, that boss is awful. Shadow is apparently not allowed to make those faces in the bottom right. I mean, he almost never smiles. I think the one time he did in this game made that pretty significant. Here's concept art, some of which has possibly been seen before. I feel like some of this Heroes concept art might have been in Generations as well. Potentially. This is used in Sonic Mega Collection Plus, I'm pretty sure. Maybe some of the Sonic Battle ones are. I'm just sitting here going through concept art, aren't I? Oh, that circus level. That's the one where Shadow asks where that the fourth Chaos Emerald is. That seems like a concept that was completely unused for that game. Moves like an octopus. Yeah, I guess he does. I think they mislabeled some of these. That's not Shadow the Hedgehog, that's Sonic 06. These are Sonic 06 things. Yeah, Iblis. Yeah, storyboards for Shadow opening. That one scene where, like, you know, like Sonic's like falling to the floor and Shadow's just like looking down on him. Shadow design ideas 1. Ah, yes, the unused designs for Shadow. Back when, well, their working name for him was Terios. Rough line art. I wonder what this was done for, whether it's done for a game or what. The fact that it's Shadow, Knuckles, and Rouge. It's the mentioned stage sketch. Do I recognise any bits of level design there? Kinda. Oh, that bit in the middle where it says jump is probably the thingy bit. Probably like the bobsled. Amy goal. Yeah, Team Rose really does tend to finish like halfway through a level, don't they? Why is there like an evil looking Omochao in this one? Hmm. Oh. I'm now just being reminded of the pinball tables in Sonic Heroes. Ugh. That's not something I want to think about. Just these sketches kind of like the way Sonic is drawn almost kind of evokes more classic proportions. Oh, they're trying to find the computer room. Well, I don't think that's to do with that mission, but still. I did look at all this when I unlocked it before, but I've forgotten some of this. I think these are like more technical sort of design sketches. If they haven't mislabeled this, so they're like considering bringing the Bio-Lizard back or something. I don't think there's anything to do with Bio-Lizard in Shadow Hedgehog. My webcam's decided it's decided to stop working. How long's that been happening? Oh dear. Let's see. How long's my webcam been gone? Surprised it came back on just by turning it off and on. It doesn't usually when it does that. If something bad does happen to the stream, I'm going to blame Windows because it forced me to do an update today. Instead of giving me like a, oh, remind me later, it gave me a update now or wait an hour or restart in an hour. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll do it now so it doesn't just like interrupt me while I was in the middle of doing something. These sure are sketches of level gimmicks in Shadow the Hedgehog. These are probably designs for heroes though, given that that's Sonic, not Shadow. This has Knuckles in it. It looks more like Bullet Station than anything. Those definitely Shadow though. The collectibles in the movie level are just these posters. they're just basically screenshots using the made using the like movie level assets. Not quite sure what the point of these is. Like, they're just whatever. Like, why they're not just actual, like, movie posters or whatnot, I don't know. Very, very, very odd. But we also get Gerald's journal. It will be a lot of reading. I'm not going to read this out, because there'd be a lot to read. But I like how this is, it is handwritten. There was I can't remember who it was, but someone, I think there might be someone who's normally involved with the comics, did like handwrote this all out, and like they said like their hands were like hurting after doing it or something. But if you don't want to try reading the handwriting, you can just bring up actual text. Yeah. Oh yeah, this page, yeah, this shows Gerald finally in an actual game, not just supplemental materials, not just sort of, yeah. It shows Gerald going. It sort of tells Gerald going to Angel Island in an actual game. Yeah. And Gerald, yeah, goes to Angel Island. You know. This is before he makes the arc. But yeah, so it's something about Gerald's character that's not really shown in Avenger 2 and is more so shown in this game and tried to be shown in Shadow, is that Gerald is not, for most of his life, he's not a villain. Like, he's making the arc to, like, as a good thing. Like, he's not a villain at all. I suppose in the movies he does start out not a villain in the past, but the way he's a villain is different, I would say, in the movie to the games. Yeah. But yeah, it's like Gunn and like the government is like wanting to do like more weapons research and whatnot on the Ark, so. And here we have Gerald finding the Gizoids, I think it's pronounced, from Sonic Battle. I've not played through Battle Story Mode. Part of me wants to actually see the story through, not just read like a plot synopsis. On the other hand, I've heard that it's very tedious. So, and yeah, Maria's illness. And that's the commander, the gun commander, Abraham Tower, or Abe, as sometimes he does get called by certain characters. Yeah, he's working on yeah. Again, I'm not. This will be too much to read out on stream, so if you do call Abe a happy little accident. I mean, he's not related. Like, I think he's just like he's completely unrelated. They are like, they were just like friends. So, but you also have to remember Gerald is this is like, this is 50 years prior to the rest of the Sonic series, which happens in kind of the perpetual present day. So. Oh yeah, Gerald. Obviously, Gerald knew about Chaos as well. It sounds like the researchers weren't meant to do it in space. Perhaps. But yeah. Obviously, Eggman, in Adventure 1, Eggman knows about Chaos through stone tablets, because when he first feeds Chaos an emerald, he's like, oh, it says the stone tablets predicted. So, perhaps Eggman knew this through looking into his grandfather's work. Also, it's all about like his start of the research into Project Shadow here in this entry. And this picture of Maria and like the tiny little baby by like what presumably would become the Bio Lizard. It's given what the Bio Lizard would become, it's unreasonably cute. Just a little guy. And then yeah, the Bio Lizard. Yeah. And yeah, desperate times. Well, for desperate measures, I'm a desperate man. Yeah. And yeah, going through Maria's decision to well, what Maria's reasoning for calling him Shadow. What am I talking about? Gizoids. Oh yeah, I forgot about this tidbit. Yeah. Maria designed Shadow's shoes. I forgot about this tidbit. Yeah, Shadow's I mean, as Maria said in her dialogue last time, Shadow wasn't exactly the best at his lessons. Emerald, I don't know how you pronounce his name. Going on like a rampage on the Ark. Oh, this page is hard to read. Yeah. And his final journal entry. Yeah. After he heard about Maria's death and basically lost it. Yes, ML was in Dark Beginnings. But yeah, if you're interested, I'd say I would look it up online. Like, someone's probably like put the entire journal online somewhere to read. I'd recommend it. I thought it was a good read. Oh yeah, this also shows up in the collection room once you get all the rocket parts. So there's one thing I could, I guess one thing I haven't shown off just yet. The other part of the Digital Deluxe or pre-order, I think it was Digital Deluxe. The Terrier skin. This continues a trend from Sonic Superstars. Sonic Superstars had a skin based on the rabbit design that was like one of the concepts when Sonic was originally being made. And this is one of the early Shadow concepts brought to life as a skin for Shadow. Since we got time, a little bit of time to kill, let's show it off in a level.
Finally, I've got you now. I won't let you get away.
It's probably going to be basically how I played it last time. Yeah, I don't really use the skin a lot. I mean, with the Sonic generations, half of this remaster I do use the Adventure and Jam skins a lot, but I don't tend to use this one very often. I do prefer Shadow's final design, I think. Does the skin apply to cutscenes? Oh, I'm not sure. We can have a look. Obviously anything in level it will apply to. We can have a look at it once I've done this. But I was thinking, I know in this level we get a bit of a close-up of him, so...
This is the ultimate power.
Yeah, I don't tend to use this one. I do think the finalised design of Shadow that they settled on was probably for the best. Although the fact that this design does look a bit closer to Sonic, at least in terms of silhouette, it would explain how everyone mistook Shadow for Sonic in Adventure 2.
Alright, this is the ultimate power. Let's do this.
Yeah, his spines, like this skin's spines are very floppy. Like, they almost act like Knuckles, like dreadlocks, in terms of how floppy they are. Kind of reminds me of Sonic spines in 06 as well, actually. Another thing I don't like about the 06 design, just how floppy Sonic spines were, at least in gameplay. Ow. Whoops. I don't claim to be perfect at these games.
Alright, freeze.
Nearly fell off the edge there, that's not good. Yeah, I have a feeling that the skin probably applies to, like, I imagine the skin would apply to cutscenes that are, like, real time. Like when you get, like, you know, possibly things like the Doom Powers. Something like the Sonic vs Shadow cutscene, I'm not sure if it would apply to. Because some cutscenes, I think, are pre-rendered videos. But some of the at least the smaller cutscenes are just in engine, like rendered in real time. So yeah, like some cutscenes are in engine, some cutscenes are pre-rendered. Like I don't know which ones are which, to be completely honest. All this stuff is in engine though. And again, as I said on the first stream, I think Sonic Team's flexing with these Radical Highway sections. Like the way it just smoothly loads up in such a fast-paced level. Like the way it, you know, the transitions between the sort of different environments happening in real time.
You cannot deny.
And with like the effects and stuff, like the geometry density as well of it. I mean, geometry density is something that the Hedgehog engine's been good at since Unleashed.
What? So what I was tracking was him. I won't let him escape again.
Yeah, I think this game is like does show some of the merits of, you know, of a game developer rolling their own engine tech. I think for the most part this game does look pretty good, and I think it avoids a lot of the jank that Frontiers had. Because I like Frontiers a lot, and the jank is part of the charm of the game to me, but it is janky. Let's see what cutscenes are in engine, like real time, which ones aren't. I would imagine the opening is is pre-rendered. I would presume, especially given it switches over to the Sonic Generations party scene. So I'm pretty sure this is pre-rendered. It wouldn't make sense for it not to be. Yeah. And stuff like this, yeah, like this is in real time. So you don't see him much though, because of the thing. Like, this is pre-rendered. These ones, yeah, are real time.
No! No!
Yeah, it really does look a lot more like Sonic with this design. So a lot of people have sort of come to the realization of the whole plot point of everyone mistook Shadow for Sonic was probably written when this design was being considered. That's pre-rendered. I mean, the power ones are gonna be all the same.
Hello. Your name's Shadow, isn't it? Have you seen my good buddy, Froggy?
That's pre-rendered. I do like how in both Sonic Generations and Shadow Generations, like cutscenes just show like the level names, like in the hub world. Yeah, this is gonna be pre-rendered. Yeah. Yeah. I get the big important story cutscenes are all pre-rendered. Yeah. So. What about these ones?
Huh?
Okay, no, these ones are... Time to like label everything accordingly. I mean, in Sonic Generations, you have to like they are tangible. You have to stand on the one for Cityscape to even reach the Shadow boss fight. I mean, this cutscene, I like how it does start with Shadow, like this is in front of the gate for City Escape. Man, let's just watch this one more time before we finish up.
Shadow.
I love this scene so much. Like the dialogue references and just the way it's presented
You
and
have
animated.
something I need.
You can wait until my business is finished.
Yeah, sorry. But
I know
that
some people
Chaos
have
Emerald and I
complained
have a date
that
with a monster.
referencing the hero's dialogue too.
It'll be a date to die.
Yeah, some people complained that this cutscene uses the Frontiers model for Sonic. And it's just like, whatever. It's not that different from the Generations model. And when they've animated this cutscene so much better than anything in Generations, I'll definitely forgive it anyway. I mean, the assets here are clearly from the they're from the Space Colony Arc level in this game, rather than using the assets from the Generations fight. But it's the same location, so it's fine. Yeah, like Shadow considers using like Doom Spear there, but decides to.
Nice hustle, but I want
So he
this
decides to
one,
play fair.
so I'm taking the emerald. See ya.
I mean, the fake one did Chaos Control once at least.
I finally find you, and what do I see?
Like,
Sonic defeated
I don't know whether
Lord
it like
Warhead.
requires more effort or power or what. I don't know.
Or not at all.
A fine time for you to be honorable. Now he has the Chaos Emerald.
No, he has a fake emerald.
Like it could be that
I'll have to
Shadow just
swap it
decided
with
like he needed
after I'm finished with
sort
my
of
mission.
more power,
Wow,
the
look
sort of
at
more
you.
power of the real
As a
thing or something. I don't know.
professional jewel thief, I approve.
I do still think that they, the fact that they decided to take the fact that Shadow gave Sonic the Yellow Emerald in the original Generations, they managed to like work that in as a plot point in this and tie it to the fake Emerald from Adventure 2. It's just really, for Sonic, for a Sonic thing, it's really clever. It might not be really clever in the grand scheme of video game stories in general, but for a Sonic one, it's pretty clever. Especially given that, well, from like before Frontiers, it's a long time. It's been a long time since they've really tried to sort of have much story cohesion between games. So, like to see it done here is pretty cool. Anyways, I'm going to turn off the Torios DLC before I forget. But yeah, just quickly before we end things. So yeah, that's Shadow Generations. I feel like I've shown off most of what the game has to offer. I didn't show off the extra missions or hard mode bosses, but they're very similar to what came before. Extras, like they're just like hard mode missions and bosses. They're not too different really from what came before. Especially like the hard mode bosses like Biolizard and Mephiles just don't give you rings. And Metal Overlord, I can't remember what's harder about it. Maybe it takes longer to, like maybe it takes more hits or something. I can't remember. Or maybe there's more obstacles in the water. There's no hard mode final boss though. But it doesn't really matter. The final boss is already the most involved boss in the game, so whatever. But yeah, that's it for Shadow Generations. I kind of already went over my thoughts last time because that was the story finale, but yeah, it's a good one. It's a good Sonic game. My favourite Sonic team developed Sonic game since the original Sonic Generations. Not my favourite Sonic game since, because obviously Mania obviously exists, and I like Superstars a fair amount as well. Not as good as Mania, but I do like Superstars, and Superstars is based on my favourite type of Sonic gameplay, so... Oh, there's an ad coming. Snooze that. Don't need that. We're pretty much nearly done here. But yeah, Shadow Generations or Sonic X Shadow Generations definitely something I'd recommend. Like it's a Sonic game that I sort of can do it as an easy recommendation. Like both games in it are great games. The Sonic Generations remaster is pretty decent. And there's arguably things that the original PC version is better for, and it's certainly better for mod compatibility, but yeah, like they didn't touch Generations much outside of the dialogue, but they didn't need to. Generations was already a great game. Side note, I've always referred to Sonic Generations just by calling it Generations if I'm talking about Sonic stuff. Can't do that anymore. There's 2 games with the word Generations in the title now. I always have to catch myself and be like, no, I can't just call it Generations now. I have to say Sonic Generations. And yeah, the difference. Colors Ultimate was just not very good, especially the Switch version. The PC version can be made better with mods. The Re-Rainbow mod is looking really promising. It's technically still not done, but it already fixes up a lot of the visual problems of the game. But yeah, like there's a few things like the Switch version. It's a shame the frame rate cap is implemented a bit wrong. It's a shame that it has to run at 30 FPS at all. Switch. The Switch should be capable of 60. I'm pretty sure people with modded Switches have been able to like uncap the frame rate on Sonic Generations, and it runs at 60 just fine for the most part. But barring a couple of tiny minor physics quibbles that for some reason have popped up, and just the fact that they didn't sort of try to unlock the frame rate. Otherwise, it's a pretty good way to play the game. I'll be going back to the original release because I've got, all my mods and setup and whatnot in the original release. The original release does run a little bit better in some ways with all the mods on it. But it's still a good way, especially on console. It's a good way to play Sonic Generations. Plus, on PC, it completely does away with the stupid launcher that doesn't work half the time. But Shadow Generations is a great one. Like the level design is really well done. The shadow control's great. I thought the story was great as well. It made me care about Shadow, and while I never disliked him, he's never been like my favourite character because I like the classic ones more. So yeah, it's one I can recommend. There's not really much of like a, because with a lot of other Sonic games, I could be like, oh, I recommend it, but get it on sale, or but look out for this problem, or but get this specific version because of mods, or whatever. There's not really any major caveats with Sonic X Shadow Generations, apart from, I guess, the time eater. But that's been bad since 2011, and it doesn't, while Sonic Generations technically ends on a dour note with its time eater, it doesn't make the rest of the game worse. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say on Shadow. Yeah, basically. I mean, I personally think it's one of the Sonic games that's actually worth getting, even without having to wait for a heavy discount. But obviously, for the most part, getting games on discounts, especially with buying digital, it's just the more sensible way to go. Especially Sonic games, they go on sale all the time. So it's always worth waiting for a sale with Sonic stuff, for the most part. But I do think, I wouldn't say it's not worth full price. So, now that we're done with that though, I think we can probably all guess what is next. And I want to, because I spent time making it, I want to show this again. Because I spent time making this transition. And to show it once on stream. So I'm now showing it twice. We're going back to Crosscode. There's no break. This was the break. We're going back to Crosscode. we're going to jump into the DLC A New Home. I can't remember how long it takes. I can't remember how long it is. It's not as long as the main game. It's basically like an epilogue story, I guess, in a sense. But yeah, like Sergei needed some time to sort stuff out after the ending, and yeah, we've had a bit of time. So yeah, on Tuesday we'll be heading back into Crosscode with the DLC. I'm looking forward to it. It's more Crosscode, it's more of a great game. So, you know, more of a good thing. I'm hoping it would be nice if it all gets wrapped up before anniversary stuff happens in 2 months' time. But, like I said, I don't remember exactly how long it is, so we'll see. He just wanted time to play Sonic. But yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take. It'll take as long as it takes. There'll be no breaks as well. It's like short enough, I think, that it won't need any. So I'm hoping it'll get done before anniversary stuff, and then, you know. Yeah, like I'm still a bit burned out during PSO2, so yeah, it's just going to be nothing but Crosscode again, like it was before. Yeah, I said, because I have been making my plans for anniversary, so again, nothing grand, but I'm doing something. But I'll go into that at a later date. As for right now, I'm going to hit the right button this time to say thank you for watching, whether you've been here the whole stream, part of the stream, whole series, part of the series, you know, this is part of the Sonic coverage. Yeah, thank you, regardless of amount of time you've been here and whatnot. Yeah, so we're back to Crosscode on Tuesday, and we're keeping that train going until it reaches its destination, so to speak. Yeah, nothing else, so that's it. So, thanks again for watching, and have a good rest of your night. I should not mess around with the microphone while I'm still using it. Yeah, thanks for watching, have a good night, and all that stuff.